What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to YGOPD, your Yu-Gi-Oh! Professional Development. I wanted to do something in the interim before I have a lot of TCG orders coming in this week, as well as picking up the last of my stuff from Infinite Forbidden throughout this week on the early side for Fiendsmith and a bunch of other really cool things that I'm really excited to show. So I wanted to show something that I've just been messing around with casually. This was kind of in between while waiting for a ban list and testing with some stuff. This is Ice Barrier Runick Ghoti. I really like Ghoti. I know the community really likes it on my channel. I just wanted to showcase a basic update of something I'm testing. I have what I feel is a much better version of this, but I'm missing a lot of the structure deck type cards that are older that I need for this. So I wanted to show what I was tinkering with in the interim as a way to supplement until I find that stuff. And it still just gives me an excuse to play with some of that stuff because Ice Barrier's been really cool. I'm sure you've seen my boy Grant do a couple profiles on Sunny P's channel and things like that. It's really cool. Shout out to both of them. But I want to go ahead and just showcase what I've been messing with and get some feedback from the community. So we'll go ahead and hop into it. So for the, I'll just make sure everything's kind of, yeah, we're good. Ghoti stuff, it's going to be pretty standard. One of each level 6 in terms of Snopios and Pacis, or however you say it. It's been so long, whatever. And then one of each of the tuner, Paces, Schiff, and Zep, as well as one Keef. That's become pretty standard. You don't really need more than that. And then the different engine I'm doing, last time you saw us, I was doing the Earthbound stuff. I'm trying, again, kind of supplementing and changing that out with some of the Ice Barrier things. Swap Frog is just a starter for Ghoti now, if you're unfamiliar. It can facilitate Toad. I'm not really doing that in this list because extra deck space is kind of weird. I do that in the more pure Ice Barrier list without the Runick stuff that I'll do an update for down the line. But this just lets you dump Mirror Mage, which then gets it back and makes tokens and makes the Arion Post level 6, and you can just go from there. So similar to that 3 Hexa. Hexa is insane because you can still do a lot of what you saw in the Earthbound deck profile, where if this gets interrupted as a level 1 tuner and gets stopped, you still get Hugin, get a search, and then you can go ahead and climb into Martial Metal Marcher and keep going with a second Runick. So the lines are still very similar, but Hexa just allows for a lot of cool things with Mirror Mage and getting a second tuner on board early on. It does lock you into Water Synchros the moment you use the Mirror Mage effect to summon tokens. I also just think it's cool to abuse this guy. It is a really insane discard off Hugin to, even if you get interrupted on Hugin, to be able to bring this back, tribute off the Hugin, get tokens, and continue to play from there. I think this build, I'm still figuring out lines, is a little bit weaker going first, maybe uninterrupted, but is really, really good at playing through hand trap format. And that's kind of what we were in for a while with everyone playing 15 hand traps, Veiler, Ash, Imperm, Ogre, Mourner, Droll, etc. This deck does a really good job of that outside of maybe each roll. And then I am on 3 Medallion, just having 6 copies of Mirror Mage to pitch, or just a way to search the Hexa to then get a Foolish is just really good. So, yep. That I think, oh no, and one more. One of the general, this doesn't come up a ton, ironically, because you're not always going for the 10 synchro, but you can, and it's just a powerful card. I think it's no reason not to. A lot of the lines, ironically, with Swap Frog and pitching Mirror Mage and stuff like that, you don't always need your normal summon. So there have been times where I make a board and I just tribute summon over the Runick just for this guy, and just having this on board as a floodgate is really, really powerful. So the last Ice Barrier card is obviously the Reborn for level 4s or lower on activation. We are still playing one Hop Ear. There's just been some weird game states where making Cupid Pitch is still decent. Hexa itself, when it dumps Mirror Mage, becomes a level 2. So sometimes it comes up to make Cupid Pitch and continue playing that way. But just, I think, something that's decent for now. And then the rest of the deck is just truly Runick. So 2 Fountain, and then the rest are fairly standard. 3 Tip, 3 Freezing Curses, 3 of the Protection with Slumber, 3 of the Spell Trap Destruction effect with Destruction, 3 Flashing Fire for a special summon pop, and then 2 of the Smiting Storm. You could just do 1 and 1 for this in Dispelling, or this in Golden Droplet. Golden Droplet's probably the worst out of all of them, but it's fine. Again, if you're playing the Runick build, you really, in Ghoti specifically, and you're playing an engine that has a normal summon or just has random tuner stuff to do, like either Ice Barrier or Earthbound, you need one of those plus ideally 2 Runicks. So you just want to have enough names to get you there. So for the extra deck, not a ton has changed. For the bigger guys, we got Deep Beyond and one of the new Ice Barrier, the Ice Mountain, I guess technically. I don't know why it's not an Ice Barrier, but insane card, especially for Sword Soul and other decks. It's because it's just generic, and you play through Nib better now. If they nib you, they get punished and you get a Trish. I'm not playing that because we don't always go for this. This is not always relevant, and the extra deck space is really tight. Again, you have a lot more space in the extra deck for that kind of stuff if you're not playing Runics. Then you have the freedom to play Toad and a lot of other different extenders that are better, so I'll do an update on that down the line. But these two for our big boys, and then 1 Croc, and then 2 Oscon, and then 1 White Aura Whale, still really insane, 2 Arion Posts, and then the couple randoms, 1 Cupid Pitch, 1 Martial Metal Marcher. I think if you want a better explanation of these type of cards, I would recommend the prior Ghoti video I did, where you kind of see a bit more in-depth combo and was community supported and all that stuff. That was really powerful. I'll come back to these closer to when I get the rest of the Ice Barrier stuff, but these are both really good. And then for the Runics, we're keeping it very simple. 2 Hugin, 1 Jerry, 1 Frecky, and that's really it. You can play Slipnir, but again, the extra deck is tight, and all these names are really good for just pairing with either a level 1 or 2 tuner to be able to get to where you need. You really do need the Frecky. If like the Hextech gets imperm, then you have a 5 and a 1 for a 6, a 2 and a 4, 4 and a 2, however you want to do it. But you do have a lot of spare names. And then the last extra deck slot is a Sprind. I really also like this because having Swap Frog lead into stuff is really powerful now. Like the full combo that I'll showcase an update for uses Deep Sea Diva and a bunch of other cool stuff. But like making Sprind to go ahead and pre-dump Schiff is really powerful. And then tributing this off with Mirror Mage and then getting tokens and clearing things up to have like 2 Ghoti tuners in rotation is really, really powerful right off the gate. So yeah, that's a quick look at Ghoti Ice Barrier. Let me know if you guys want to see some combos, some test hands, things like that. I'm happy to do that. I'll also be showcasing an updated Ice Barrier version in the coming weeks. But with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.